Hi everyone, Brian Garrett here. I'm the Vice President of Validation Services at the Enterprise Strategy Group, and I'm here at Google Cloud Next 2017 event, and I'm really excited with the energy and the enthusiasm and the increased attendance here. My key takeaways here and what I'm most excited about are the enterprise cloud readiness investments that Google has made over the past year or so. These are very clear in their go-to-market initiatives. There's a huge number of partners here. They've announced partnerships with ISVs like PwC and with a huge number of growing VARs and with industry partners like SAP. From a product standpoint, there was just an amazing amount of announcements here. Over 50 product announcements were made. Some of the key ones that I believe make a difference from an enterprise cloud readiness are associated with making it be easier for enterprises to do business with Google and particularly with GCP.
Hi, I'm Edwin Yuen, ESG analyst for Systems Management, PaaS, and DevOps. And we're here live at Google Next 2017 here in San Francisco. What I'd like to talk about today is some of the announcements that they've made and the changes that we've seen in Google as a result of this conference. We've seen a really big shift in how they take enterprises more seriously and how they treat enterprise customers and how they target them with their products. And we're kind of seeing it in three areas. First is really the investments that they're making. As Eric Schmidt said during the Day One keynote, they're investing over $30 billion into Google Cloud. And a lot of those investments are on the background core infrastructure, but also to support the enterprises. And they've made changes in terms of their licensing and their pricing, their support model, how their salespeople go after enterprises. So we're seeing a real concerted effort here from Google to go after the enterprise. The second thing we understand is migration of workloads. Much of the discussions of the last couple days have been about how to move your existing on-premises workloads into the Google Cloud. They've talked about VM migrations and how they're taking some new tools with live migrations, but not only making those tools available, but the processes and the people in order to support and help people move your x86 VMs into the Google Cloud, as Eric Schmidt had said. But they're also talking about how to move legacy applications and changing code and updating legacy systems, including things like ASP.NET and Microsoft Windows servers, and getting support for SQL Server, and really taking those enterprise workloads seriously. And then finally, we're seeing a big shift in how they're taking consumer products and moving them into the enterprise. A lot of people have been dismissive of Google, of thinking of them as only a consumer-based company, just Gmail, just search, nothing for the enterprise. But they're really taking a lot of those products and pushing them into the enterprise and giving some great enterprise features, such as the capabilities within G Suite and the modifications they've made there, making Team Google Drive for a lot of sharing. They're changing how Hangouts work, so they can support not just one-to-one communications, but team-type communications and really potentially hit that chat ops market. So we're seeing some really great changes from Google and how they're treating their existing technologies, extending upon that, and really taking Google Cloud into the enterprise. And I think this is going to be a company that we really want to watch along with Amazon and Azure for the public cloud.
Some of the key business announcements that were made here were new innovations in pricing, committed use discounts, a way for at volume to make a very much simpler way to lower prices for enterprises that will be purchasing GCP in volume. And then engineer to engineer to support, taking the reliability engineering expertise that Google has and extending that and making it available to enterprises and purchasing it on a per seat basis for response time-based response to customer problems. It's a much simpler way to consume support and the expertise of the Google engineers without having to commit to huge expenses. It's pay for it as you get it and you get the expertise of Google.
Hi, I'm Dan Conde, analyst at ESG for Cloud Infrastructure. As you have heard from other analysts, we saw a lot of announcements here at Google Cloud Next about legacy app migration, big data, and so on. But one of the things that Google likes to talk about, and what a lot of people ignore, is the fact that their infrastructure is probably second to none. They have the fastest and most complete network that spans the world, and that actually does translate into business value. You could connect hybrid clouds between different regions, no need to have SSL VPNs and so on. These are elements that seem very technical, but do translate into costs and ROI for enterprises who do want to run their workloads on the Google Cloud platform as well. Another thing that's really important about the capability of having a network as a service is that it allows the network engineers to not consider the importance of keeping the plumbing running by basically outsourcing a lot of the basic things to Google and focusing their work on enabling the network and security to mirror the business needs of the workloads. So these are some things that seem somewhat secondary and you could argue is overshadowed by some of the sexiest things that you have, like Jamboard or the latest Pixel phones. But I think for enterprises that are looking at traditional workloads and finding where to go to, it makes a big difference. And obviously all the other competitors, whether it's Amazon or Microsoft, will catch up or are working on the same things. But I will say that good networking performance is a key thing that differentiates Google's cloud.